Having the high ground against meticulous teacher. As I started high school, a new principal took over and decided to overhaul how everything worked. My freshman year they got rid of finals, sophomore year they turned classes 100% test-based grades, also letting students retake tests 3 times since grades dropped fast. Junior year they made all tests graded on a 1 to 5 basis instead of AF, where class grades were still AF. 5 was given a 95% or A, 4 was 85% or B, 3 was 75% or C, 2 was 65% or D, and 1 was 55% or F. You could not go below a 55% since 1 was the lowest grade and the only failing one. My AP Physics teacher my junior year was one of the people in charge of curriculum changes, and he definitely thought he was doing a good job in helping the students. After all, grades were getting better, especially for athletes. He had helped redesign the entire curriculum, but hadn't changed much about the way he graded his class. He intentionally made his tests on the harder side and used a flat curve for grading. With letter grades, he marked a 70% as an A, 60% B, 50% C and so on. He decided to maintain these percentage cutoffs when he transitioned to the 1 to 5 scale. If any of you have taken an advanced science class, you know lab reports are typically a big portion of the class and likely caused you many hours of work, mostly doing tedious things like formatting equations in Microsoft Word. I hated doing lab reports. Thanks to my teacher's new curriculum, lab reports could not be part of your grade without being part of your test. His solution was to make lab reports equal to 10% of your test grade, but it was graded independently also on a 1 to 5 basis. The lowest score you could get was a 1, or 55%. I quickly realized that even if I turned in nothing for my lab report, I would be given a 55% instead of a 0 and would still get 5.5% of my test grade when I only needed 70% for an A. Losing 4.5% of my test seemed like a worthy sacrifice. For the first few reports of the year I turned in nothing for my report. He would give me a 1 and scold me, but after the second or third time in a row, he realized I was getting A's on his tests anyway and I was doing it intentionally. He then made the requirement that test scores would be inconclusive until lab reports were turned in, instead of just giving us a 1 and moving on. When the next report came around, I simply turned in a piece of paper with my name and lab report typed on it and turned it in. He begrudgingly gave me the 1 on the report and the A on the test since I turned in my report. When the next report came around, he announced reports must have each section in them. I'm not sure what he was expecting, but I turned in a page with my name and the title of each section, with no words under the section. Once again he gave me my A. Next time around he announced each section must have at least a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, in each section to be considered complete. In my MC fashion, I gave him 3 short sentences in each paragraph that went something like this is my introduction paragraph. It must be at least 3 sentences long. This is 3 sentences. Got my A. The last time he changed the rules, he announced with a smug face while looking in my direction that there was a 5-page requirement and text had to pertain to the subject at hand. I proceeded to Google a wiki article pertaining to the experiment, copy and pasted 5 pages of text, and cited Wikipedia to not get hit with plagiarism. I got my A and he either gave up coming up with more rules or realized he wasn't going to win the battle. The next year, he changed the entire school's curriculum to include a system of obedience scores to punish students for not completing work, even if the work isn't graded.